I'm told that the replay of Nick Chubb getting injured is not to be seen.
Yeah, we're not going to show it. It's as bad as you can imagine.
Nick Chubb may be the most unlucky player in NFL history. Every single time his career looked ready to launch into an all-time great trajectory, something completely outside of his control stopped it. Injuries, circumstances, shared backfields, bad timing, organizational dysfunction. It feels like every era of Nick Chubb's football career came with an asterisk next to it. And the craziest part is, despite all of that, all that's happened to him, he's still going to be remembered as one of the best running backs of this generation. It all started at Georgia, where his greatness was once again interrupted. Nick Chubb arrived there looking like the next legendary SEC running back. He was explosive, he was powerful, efficient, elusive, and immediately looked NFL ready.
Chubb going after his 14th straight game of 100 yards or more, and this is...
But in 2015 against Tennessee, Chubb suffered one of the most horrifying knee injuries in college football history. Multiple ligaments got destroyed, the same knee that would later come back to haunt him in the NFL. For many running backs, that early on in their career, it would have ended any dreams of NFL superstardom. But instead, Chubb came back to once again a crowded backfield with Sony Michel and still found a way to become a second-round draft pick in the NFL. And somehow things only got weirder from there.
With the 35th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Nick Chubb, running back, Georgia.
Nick Chubb, first of all, gets drafted into football hell, drafted by the Cleveland Browns, coming off of an 0-16 season, part of one of the best rookie classes the Browns have really ever brought in with Baker Mayfield, Denzel Ward, Nick Chubb, etc. Brought the Browns to playoff success somehow in 2020 and 2023. But being drafted to the Cleveland Browns in one of their most dysfunctional times already adds on bad luck. Hugh Jackson was calling the plays. Carlos Hyde was ahead of him in the depth chart for much of the season. Duke Johnson was there on third downs and passing situations, so it was hard for him to even get on the field. And yet, the second Chubb got touches, he looked efficient. Every run felt explosive. Every carry looked efficient. Against the Raiders, he had 3 carries for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. And still, he wasn't given more carries from Hugh Jackson until he was forced to. But even then, at the end of the season, Chubb found himself in a situation, an 1,000-yard season was on the table, but one tackle for a loss against the Ravens in Week 17 ruined that. That tiny detail perfectly summarizes Nick Chubb's career. Even his accomplishments somehow came with bad luck attached to them. But moving on out of the rookie year, his Cleveland Browns tenure was a Hall of Fame pace that nobody ever talks about. Prime Nick Chubb is one of the best running backs of all time. Once Chubb officially became Cleveland's starter, he immediately looked like one of the best pure runners in football in 2019. Not flashy, never loud, just dominant. He was the Kawhi Leonard of the NFL. He consistently averaged elite yards per carry, broke tackles at an absurd rate, and somehow made every run look effortless. There were legitimate stretches where Nick Chubb looked like one of the best running backs in football, and we always seem to forget it. And then Cleveland, they signed Kareem Hunt. It didn't really affect Nick Chubb that much statistically, but it capped him at a ceiling. Now to be clear, Kareem Hunt was a great player, and the Browns accidentally created one of the best running back duos in football. But for Nick Chubb's individual legacy, it completely changed the trajectory of his career, because suddenly he got fewer carries, fewer touchdowns, fewer rushing titles, eliminated really any chance of him being involved in the passing game, fewer all-pro conversations, less MVP buzz if there ever was any, but lower counting stats is the bottom line. It capped him at that 1,300 to 1,500 yards. He never was able to show off what he truly could do, like an Adrian Peterson or a Derrick Henry, being the full-on bell cow workhorse. Even though everybody watching knew who the better pure runner was, Nick Chubb was producing at a Hall of Fame efficiency without Hall of Fame value. And then Nick Chubb was finally given the keys in 2023 when Kareem Hunt eventually left. It finally felt like everything was lining up for Nick Chubb. The offense was all his. Unstoppable to begin the 2023 campaign. He ran all over Cincinnati. He bullied Pittsburgh defenders throughout the first couple minutes of the Week 2 matchup on Monday Night Football. It genuinely looked like Nick Chubb was about to have the biggest statistical season of his career. And then, during the Steelers game, one hit from Minkah Fitzpatrick, a controversial hit at that. I won't go into more details about that. But then, silence in the visiting stadium. Replay was not shown on the broadcast, but it was shown on the video board, and the crowd gave a haunting reaction.
is not to be seen.
Yeah,
It was the same knee. Nick Chubb suffered a catastrophic injury to the same exact leg he destroyed at Georgia years earlier. Torn MCL, a damaged ACL, another season lost, another brutal setback for Nick Chubb's career, and just like that, his trajectory changed once again. And the cruelest part of all of it, the saddest part of Nick Chubb's story, isn't even the injury itself. It's that he actually came back. He worked so hard fighting through that rehab, and watching him come back onto the field mid-season in 2024, and then all of a sudden he doesn't look like the same runner he was. He was not the same unstoppable runner. He didn't look the same. The burst wasn't there. The explosion looked different. The workload got smaller. And now in Houston, even after everything he's gone through, he once again finds himself in a crowded backfield with Woody Marks and apparently Joe Mixon. The cycle somehow continues. To wrap things up on Nick Chubb, most running backs decline because of mileage. Nick Chubb's legacy disappeared before he truly even got a chance. Think about everything that happened. Shared backfield in college, devastating knee injury, drafted to the Browns, shared NFL backfields with Kareem Hunt, Woody Marks, and Joe Mixon. A second catastrophic knee injury in the same knee that he injured against Tennessee, and now he's going to have a post-prime committee role, and everyone will probably remember Nick Chubb as half a committee guy and half a great running back. That's why Nick Chubb's career feels so tragic. When you watch him run, it's obvious you're watching an all-time talent, but football never gave him an uninterrupted chance to become an all-time legend.